the difference between the two stools. That is why you saw of the two stools, Ogidiga, who knows all, was always pointing to one. And that one he was always pointing to, that was the one he sat upon. Their symbolism. Yariedoya. I will exactly. I mean, ya no by why Viori. Neya loga. Uwabe bonigi cancer otedo. The mysticism he acquired. Anado yari edo ragba. Anaya siegba. You understand? But some of the Obas of Benin, they are why Christian. So they are don't lose some certain things we work why. They are don't lose something like that. Understand?
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. The symbolism, spirituality, and significance of the two royal stools returned from Germany. According to Mr. Izadawa, there is a difference between the two returned Benin royal stools in terms of symbolism, spirituality, and significance. Oba El Hasoyen royal stool commands more symbolism and spirituality than Oba El Sikhe's own, regardless of age. The Oba El Sikhe stool is older, 520 years old, while that of Oba El Hasoyen is 230 years old. When they presented the two stools to the Oba of Benin, it didn't take Oba El Wahe II time to know the stool which is more spiritually symbolic. He picked that of Oba El Hasoyen and sat on it. Oba El Hasoyen was kind of Renaissance Oba. He brought back all the cultural and traditional rites that Oba El Wahe I introduced to Benin royalty, but abandoned by subsequent Obas because they accepted Christianity, Mr. Izadawa said. According to Oba El Wahe II, some of these artifacts were artworks for the decoration of the royal ancestral altars, but some were for spiritual purposes, while some were used as telepathic stools. Mr. Izadawa went further to say that the two royal stools were used as coronation stools by Oba El Sikhe and Oba El Hasoyen. The spirituality of the two stools is not determined by age but by the symbolism and significance they represent concerning spirituality. Oba El Wahe II decided to sit on the younger royal stool, which is the one used by Oba El Hasoyen on his coronation. Oba El Hasoyen's stool is 230 years old while Oba El Sikhe's is 530 years old. Oba El Hasoyen's royal stool was made of brass, not bronze. There is a difference between brass and bronze, he stated. He also talks about the 2024 election that is coming up in September. I am not voting for Oba Siki's candidate. Not that Oswe Ingadelo has offended me, but my decision is based on that man in Osar Debi Avenue, he added. He throws some light on the forthcoming Benin Investors Conference which is taking place in December this year. We must come together, pull our resources together to help ourselves. He also talks about social media miscreants that love distorting Benin's history. He advises the Benins on social media not to engage in any video made by these people, by not watching, commenting, liking, or sharing. Please sit down and watch as he explains.
You all share. So that we'll talk about very, very important issues. We are all excited. We are all very excited. Because two of our very prized artifact was returned to the rightful place. So after 128 years, two of the very prized artifacts was returned. One of them is very emotional to me. One of the artifacts, two of them has tremendous symbolism, in Benin history. But one of them is it's quite very emotional to me because of what it represents, because of what it represents to me as a person, and for what it represents to Benin Kingdom generally. I know a lot of people will want to pick a precedent on which one is older, but sometimes it's not the one that is actually older that means so much to the palace. Of the two stools, one symbolically tends to have more symbolic spiritual representation to the palace than the other. A lot of persons will not even understand, but you know, as someone over the years who has been entrusted with some very specific secrets, so not all secrets I can divulge. Not all secrets I can divulge. I know a whole lot of persons said I should do research on Oba Ensoye and all of that. I have done extensive research on Oba Ensoye because Oba not be money. That's my own. That is my own ancestry to the royal house. I've done, but I cannot unveil it because in the first place, that there are some findings that I'm probably going to take to the grave. Or I'm going to share with only my children or my immediate family members. So you, if you want to get to find that, you can go and find that. So those findings in it, what you know can hear it. You know can hear it yourself. So the symbolic representation of those two ancient stools means quite a lot to us as a people. However you want to see it, or by Gobadia, but I do always tie survey your way. What the Benin meant that Ewaye is the template at which every other Obas of Benin are measured. So, you understand? Hierarchically, there are Obas that that has done far better than some Obas. So when you grade it, so the highest of it all is Ewaye. So that is why Ewaye became a template at which every Oba is measured. Egbewaye Agiobase. You understand? If you have done well as an Oba, Oba no sike Ewaye na hina in achievement and in feats. So Oba Ewaye is a template at which every other Obas are measured. So I don't know now. You know they like to twist on what I said or what I didn't say. But basically, even if basically it's not even supposed to be a problem. Basically, if you give power to 500 people or to 10 people, some people are bound to use it better than some. So even if they have equal office, but some persons gives more meaning. Gives more meaning to that office than some. There were some Obas of Benin that they were basically nothing to record about them. There were basically no achievement that you can equate to their names. There were a lot of Obas like that, but there were some that was very distinguished. Do you grab? Do you get? So the Oba Ensoye stool commands more symbolism and spirituality than Obasige's stool. Commands more symbolism and more spirituality than Obasige's stool. That is why when two stools were presented, both stolen, one is 520, the other one years old, the other one is 200, almost approximately about 300 years old. Of these two, it takes an LY to know the difference between the two stools. That is why you saw of the two stools, Ogidiga, who knows all, was always pointing to one. And that one he was always pointing to, that was the one he sat upon. Their symbolism. It ties to there. You understand? But I'm not saying that the other is not symbol. Don't get me wrong. When you're making comparison between two things, one might have an edge. There's a reason why. You understand? There's a reason why. So that of the two, one, why I gave you go study that video? I knew about that bar. Oh, only. You understand? There's a reason. Obayensoye was a very great Oba. You understand? There were a lot of things that happened after Obaisige. A lot of things happened within the four corners of the palace wall. A lot of intricacies, a lot of things now you can and those soon wugwa. Emiya ne Obaiwa the first. Yari do ya. I will exactly. Emiya no Obaiwa Viori. Ne ya loga. Uwawe bonigi cancer otedo. The mysticism he acquired. Anado yari do ragba. Anaya siegba. You understand? But some of the Obas of Benin, they are Christian. So they are lose some certain things we work why. They are lose something like that. Understand? It half in my do. But when it got to Obayensoye, he reversed the entire sacred process to win over you Obayewaye. So Obayensoye became an Oba that spiritually represented all that Obayewaye represented and stood for. You understand that everything that Obayewaye represented and stood for, Obayensoye took that garment. You understand? And honor use Obayewaye as Oba that he loves, that he that was like his mentor. Though it's his hero did, but it was his mentor. You understand? So honor. So with that, Alemiya na teje no do fi wori ene na de gbe leya na de gbe legwa na de gbe legwaga. That is Obayensoye. You understand? Alemiya so na itewu no you na Christianity. Hate do fear bago boyo ona we no. Awe se ya awe be moyare. You understand? Obayensoye strengthened the sacrosanctity of the spirituality of the palace. So everything that represents Obayensoye is very spiritual. May I ask you one of a highly spiritual. So it was highly spiritual. So do you now understand the difference now? Do you now understand the difference now? And have I vote. It can't feel my do. So I am very. It's a very emotional video, understanding that the history that those two stools represented in Benin Kingdom has been ripped off from us for a period of about 128 years. And for a period of 128 years that these things were ripped off from us, coming back at this very point in time where our history is being tested and tried, it's something that can only be designed by the divine providence of our ancestors. So for me, and I think it's the same that I speak to all of you, for you to understand that there are symbolism to most of those things. Some, like Mineri Makaha, are arts were for the decorations of the altars, the ancestral altars, the royal ancestral altars, but some were very spiritual. Some were used as a telepathic stool. You understand? Obavorament's telepathic stool was that powerful that while he was in Calabar, I argue, that stool that you see has different spiritual symbolism. If eketenin wadere awe ni gizuo na ni acha ogi ame eni oka egegwa. It is the function of ogiame is ono na eni awa awuda ni awu negwa. That was his function as a chief of the Oba of Benin. Awe ni gizuo na mi anya do. Oni ni awu negwa. So like I said, when any Oba comes, is about to be coronated, he designs his stool and mark it with the spiritual potency that he so wishes to use. You understand? They all have their different own. That one, okay. So, for me, it represents so many of these things, and I am so happy that at this very point in time, we are having to experience and being part of what really transpired. Obviously, even the pictures that the British took, you can see that it correlated. That particular one, over a picture with the British with every other thing in Adulovio, was Obayen Soyen. There are significant difference between two of them. The one of Obayen Soyen, no more total, yeah. That one is way heavier because that one is made of pure brass, not bronze, brass. That one is made of pure brass. Eomo. You know, Eomo is not really bronze. Enedoche Eomo is brass. There's a difference between brass and bronze. Nedote Nanati Guneo Eomo is called brass, not bronze. Iguneo is the home of the brass casters, not actually bronze casters. You note it down. Brass casters, bronze. Enedoteon is brass, not actually bronze. So It is made of pure brass. That's why it's so heavy. So, but the one of Obaisige is made of wood. That's why it's light. So, just in case, both stools were not made of the same materials. One is made of pure brass, and the other one is made of wood. So, you might want to say that it was Igbesama, Igunigbesama, or Ka, or Obaisige. The wood carvers. Why Guneon? The wood carvers, Igbesamans, is an older guild. It's an older guild. You understand? It's an older guild to Iguneon. You understand? So I don't know. So I just wanted to establish, and those things were retrieved from Germany. Almost all countries have agreed to return our works. The only problem we are having now is the British. Every other countries have agreed to return our work. So there will be a lot of people will be returning, but the British are on down. Like I said, Osato, every stool, some can be for communication, some might not necessarily be. It is the current Oba or the Oba at which that stool is created for will give. It's just like you want a painter to paint your image. You are the one to tell the painter the details of the painting that you want. When you get it or when not show, oh boy, echo and if you or when the painter show, or you know, or when not show. So every incoming Oba must give a prescription of what he wants his stool to be like, and that's what it will be used for. Am I just understand? So when it's not done, then it's over do. Me, you understand? So what he wants it to be, that is what it will be for him. So every stool, the original stool now has a spiritual symbolism to the current monarch. Always had. Obavorame's own was a telepathic stool. Ore was a telepathic stool. It was not even round in shape. It's rectangular. Ovorame's own is rectangular, not round in shape. And it has its own symbolism and spirituality. Its own was for telepathism. Its own. That is the first telephone. That is the first telephone. You understand? That is the first telephone. I send a message, and I made sender and receiver, because if I may not send or may not receive, sender and receiver. So, like I have said, many akata evo ya because you can't bungbe. You understand? Evo ya. But what I want to tell you that Obaensoye still returning back to Benin. Obaisige still returning back to Benin means a whole lot. Means a whole lot. The powers therein, again, I reactivate it. Let me leave that aside. You understand? So, we are all here. If you want to find that, utie private in him. You understand? But why I'm happy, why I'm always saying your bias or your bias, like I've told you, if I'm near Boba, I'm a direct descendant of Obayan, so I have done so much research. He was a very great up. I'm not saying it because that's where I'm linked to, but from my research and findings, you understand? From my research and findings, it started to take. It's just like what Obayawa is currently doing now. Obayawa is reviving all the cultures he are not a we. I will give so night dog. I will give a night do. You understand? Or they be very real buying some you understand? So many things not a with a do. He started to reawaken them. Our boya. Nema so te viogo here on our 1 year. And then now buy a zetting level. And I went, yeah. So it was a very spiritual Oba. Very. And his stool commands enormous power. You people will not understand. You understand? So there was a spiritual symbolism as to Oba choosing amongst the two, choosing the younger one. One is about 520, the other one is about 280 now, thereabout. If you just calculate the year Oba Ensonye reigned, it would have been you calculated even before he became the Oba, because Awena ke Rioba. You understand? So a lot of those things. When our Via, like he has mentioned, your Via deity. So there were so many things that Oba Ensonye reawakened. Do you understand? So we must understand how symbolic these things are. So if some people are not happy and we are happy. So I've always told people that why I am always very patriotic to the cause is that fighting for Benin Kingdom has taught me a very critical lesson. That when you are fighting for what is right, you don't fidget, you don't break. You don't have doubt. I have never had doubt of what I have believed in. And that is why I have never looked back fighting. So I want to igyodu. Don't ever fidget. Don't ever fidget. This is our time. And we are going to do the little that we can. There are always never a vacuum. There's never always a vacuum. I will not be there. People like Izzy Omoru who are fighting now. A whole lot of us who started 2016. We're like packs. I barely see a couple of them now. I barely see them. Okay, maybe I should still have been seeing them. But we ma when my home maybe block it soon. See, for me, I have one bad character, and I tell people a lot. I don't offend people. The people who I love most is if I do you anything, come to my face and tell me that honor new, and I swear to God and our ancestors, I will kneel down and beg for forgiveness. But once I find that, that's the problem. There are so many people I've marked bad. But I'm not saying they are fighting for Benin Kingdom, but I mark them bad. Run they near attack. Because in my way, I do not wrong anybody. But if you wrong me when I know that, you could have called me. For me, I feel that I always say this. Nayag will be my home. Be by Aitawowa. Aitawowa. Ununa we manani wa wapa. Mawagwa insult back. But the point is this. I think it is high time, let me give you people this advice. I see all the wonderful works you guys are doing on TikTok. And I see all the bad heads also on TikTok. Now, you must understand this. Emedo or yeriya wa bizubiya. Your only job. Look at what Omo said during his coronation speech. Remember, it's my favorite part of every single thing that he said. He said, it is not in our place to force our history on those outside our boundaries. It is not in our place. Hold on to your history. Guide it. Hold on to your history. Guide it. And forget about the noise around. Fear for others in a way that they do not exist. Truly, they do not exist. If I open my mouth and tell you how dreaded, God, Zodo, once they tell me some certain secrets, what do we what my son had tell me so mame, na the old mume, even feel so qua. Oh, nyogia, oga mi baba, wow, okay, he no yo yegbe. Ya toge nema. I get baba o. Oh, nyogia, near praise me. Oga mi baba, okay, ke no yo yegbe. I'm not capping. Okay, near ya do we fair recently. One ever no ime baba. I get I'm a boy, and no bomb more my to chum of a phone. I'm a boy. He ran, he called the Oba of Lagos. On at your bab, then he said, on at your bab Lagos, not doing a baba. Oba of Lagos in that commissioner of police. Commissioner of police in that do honor dear guy. Or he dear honor the guali no ba. Owo ma no me bagwe wa gwa. Na ye na be siai. O ye mi ati na. So mohin do ale labe ibi oba do agwan no kan royalty many zoduwa. If you see me, I don't argue with anybody. Have you ever seen me argue? I don't. If you just come to my platform and talk to me, I block. Emmanuel may block yours. I ask a full page. No one may block you. I just block because I don't have time. I can't. Izoduwa cannot be arguing with one illiterate now. I can't be arguing with one illiterate. A professor in dread. A mena aton with social media. Go and look at the Zodo War of 2016, 2017, 2018, where I wrote almost all the publications that you still see floating. Him and the professor can dread. So more dwelling in a talent. Me make it me say. It will you understand? So what I'm saying is that they need our comments, they need our likes, they need our sharings, they need our angry emoji to grow their page. If you see anybody saying all the nonsense, block he or she. Have you ever seen me respond to Monkey Face? Have you ever seen me respond to him? I don't. He comes on my platform and comments. He block a. He block a. I don't comment. You don't know me. I get tagged. Emma is a tagging me. Because even if, because I know the truth. When you mean so no one again ne. Oh, one knows. I could be here as 1 year. Omanola ne noriofen. Le lokbofen. When I had Omanola noriofen. Le lokbofen. The first and the only time that the Oba of Benin ever visited on a thank you coronation visit. He made the state governor. Iyamo was with I think that was the first time he went here, saw physically. Came to Ife. Ife was shut down for days. Ife was shut down. The kind welcoming amun monoba yala Ife. I'm not even the same on of Ife. But on ya had umyomo. Warok by the day no sunu. Becomes like a common man, lives like a common man. Why women tell me so? I've been entrusted with so many secrets. Why women don't tell me so? I value. Oh God. Value. Even though you hear me, it go a bolo. I hear me atina. I want to know what you concern. After so many before the incidents in our it just in our as well, imagine I as well, any got table here. Imagine I as well if 2 days before that event. Or what I read do. I think on my time I have a video no time. Or you read on that pa. Or more. I cannot refer to a more as on that pa. I don't want to mention a person. On that tape, I enrolled for one survey, National Institute for Survey and all of that. He came to deliver a class that take your money and all of that. One time, I more because you can't have that access. Should get size. Now say my chief. He said I don't want talk. My talk. Oh God. Okay, let me talk what happened for 1985. That level when I tell you say what happened when part me say for that 1985, might talk that one. When they see you what they are, oh yeah, see me yeah, amala ewedu. That was in 1985. During the reign of Obaredia. Oh agbena ya amala ewedu. I walk home by an accubore that. Oh God. Have you ever seen palace chiefs eat publicly? Have you ever seen palace chiefs eat publicly? Not to think about barururu. My God. Arguing with them, you are downgrading who you are. You are downgrading what you represent. I'm not happy. Should get size. You can't see the palace chief eating publicly. Huh? So should get size. Let anybody, because they know that the only way they can get to us as a people is the throne. That's the only way. If you call me a cultist, yes, I'll be cut if I see you are carrying one, I'll kill you. That's So there's no other way you can get to us. And that's why they are using that. So it shouldn't get to you. So what you do not have, you envy. What you do not have, you envy. So calm down. You people talk your history. Build your community around yourselves. The Benin community is large. Epa just completed the book. Epa started that project 6 years ago. Professor Yula Wanswalele. Professor Yula Wanswalele, as I speak to you now, is the brightest Edo historian. I'm not capping. I'm not trying to downgrade the likes of Professor Mo Edo Saigi of University of Man. I'm not trying to downgrade Professor Distin the Uniben. I'm not trying to downgrade them, but with all due respect, he has 2 PhDs in history, in African history. But you know, Professor Yula Wanswalele is someone I've known as a pa who grew me up, the founder of Institute for Benin Studies. I've always been a student of his, and he has always been lucky. Now, I'm going to tell you why everybody should get his book. Because when Epa started, Epa was even inspired by my group, Great Benin Descendants. You understand? So he was inspired and he wanted to know about Edonekwe. Because we have tremendous population of Benins in the northeastern Yoruba, which is predominantly Ondo and Ekiti. By the time you read the book, you will see, say, almost half of Ekiti na Benio. In the town of Akure, Ono Gweji Onorewa, with pictures and videos, they are all documented in that book. With pictures and videos, they are all documented. Do you know how many communities? The first, Professor Sophie, the first professor of Professor Sophie something. I've forgotten her name. The other name. The first professor of is it psychology? I think it's psychology. Oh, I don't know. Any dog is at Desuwa. She hails from a town called Itagbolu. But because in order for them to, do you know how many Benins are Yoruba? If they are telling you that they have 10 communities in Edo State, tell them. By the time you read the book, you discover that we have more than 100 communities in Yoruba land, owned by the Benin people. You understand? He told me how the community of Yoruba professors in the United States of America were trying to kick against that work because it's going to unveil so many secrets that near die. So the book is fucking. Am I supposed to use the word fucking? The book is incredibly rich. And not just incredibly rich, the man who wrote it, the professor who wrote it, gallant. Now, professor, not be professor made a professor made a use because he sabi speak Yoruba to give professor. He worked hard. He was denied his doctorate in African History, University of Ibadan. He left and went to Canada to get his PhD. After many years, they called him back to come and collect his PhD in Ibadan. At the time, in University of Ibadan, do you know that Benin has an institute there, which was founded by Professor Eke, who was then the first VC of University of Ibadan. Professor Eke is an Igbo man. Do you know why he founded that institute? That's the same institute that produces the likes of Professor Nevadowski, Professor Bradbury, AFC Rider. Because he said that the Benin history is too rich. That Department of Benin Studies, Benin as a study had a department in University of Ibadan, where we still have a lot, thousands of archival materials that we are not trying to retrieve. We are doing everything to retrieve those materials. That's our next project, the Institute for Benin Studies project, how to retrieve those archival materials that was there until the Civil War. Again, the Civil War hanging. That's when Professor Ekena left. One way or the other, Mago they not disbanded that department in University of Ibadan, where you can actually go study Benin history. The same Benin that they said is not great, but they were envious of it. They have always been envious of it. So there are so many things that we can talk. But for the fact that we no longer have time, so pomo sauce and peppers. Egi married there with that. You understand? Only ikbane igele mi no Rosa Dobe Avenue. Mado near boa, mado fresh. Me no me na sip mado robust. O han ya we gwan oga gwan gym o gwan gym. I say na rest of mind, not be food, na rest of mind. Yeah. Ega no ro wana do bus ega no ro. So ega no ro ma ka clear my clear ni ne. Ma ke do muda ega no ro is signing him. You understand? We are going to gather the Benin descendants, and we will gather the Benin descendants, discover that we will pass 20 million in population. You understand? We will raise more soldiers, more full soldiers. But see any assignment the day ne echon salobo eti ni kao ne gwa any wrong. Once I'm done with that assignment, you will see results. You know what we are talking about. As I speak to you now, a team of a guy. You understand? They want to be, yeah, that the Bobu Wolumo only as a solidarity to his ancestral home. So what the work we do on that ground is too much to his solidarity. So sooner than later, it got people in where. So we are working on that already. Do you understand? So I've been requested for, they have made requests for Adanebe. So we are, you know, we are working some sensitivity on ground. I will my so or my give mana the plan that we have for Benin Kingdom, otherwise, once all those things start kicking into play, you will already see results. You will already see like 25 Royal Majesty from Bayelsa, from Rivers, from Ekiti side. We don't want to talk. We don't want to be talking. We want to be showing evidence. You say you will explain, tire. We want to show evidence. You understand? Now so that they claim. Then you know say they don't even claim me. I said that they claim. They claim. They claim anything here. Claim wagbona. Meaning I claim here. You understand? So, but what I'm just trying to tell you people, to be very frank and sincere, is that we are giving too much. We are growing their pages. They're intentionally spewing those nonsense because they know that you will react. And when you react, it will get more comments. It will get more views. So what you need to do, if you were Zodowa, all those people will not be existing. Because if you want to open a page to spite Zodowa or to spite my history and you think I will react, you are just wasting your time. Ya dweki fo ma nima igele the rejected if you buy me magbon ni reject wo neither here or there eme ayi we do agu mobo ayi do agu. So I think you people should ignore those people, sincerely speaking. Let them say anything you want to say. If you don't like what he or she is saying, block. If you want to report, I think all the people who has like minds, even why I could have a WhatsApp group. They know you will be done at all. Our reporter, I drop a page of here. But no comment, no likes, no sharing. Genya, on an OG with video, or with 15 video, or with 20 video. On only 50 comments or 100 comments, but a comment already is Adeyemi Olushola enenemi blah 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 you buy or it will not be boring to them. Or it will buy 10 to buy 15. You to buy high ekina agwale. One thing you know, some of these things are for views and making money. So people ordinarily will get into your thick skin so that you will react, and when you react, it will give them more views and videos, and it will give them more money. So you are fighting for your history. They are trying to use you to make money. So you are not winning, because the more you are reacting, the more they are making money. So you don't expect those people to stop. So let them make money with their own stupidity. Why was here? So why fear for the ones that if you not feel that you can no longer tolerate them, block. And I mean block. Bonowe block here. BLOCK. Or is there post tag or my meal tag? Oh well. So I'm the king of block. Learn from me. So so what you do not hear or what you do not listen to will not disturb you. I've learned that. Anything that takes my peace of mind, that makes me restless, I don't like it. Because I easily get agitated over things. I easily get infuriated about a lot of things. So what you do, I just block people. If I don't like you as a person, I get irritated by what you post. I can never come to your post and say, this is when you post now nonsense. No. Because tomorrow you'll still post another nonsense. It will block you. So if I know the same nonsense again for my timeline, that is why when people say even when people send me video, I hardly even watch. When they send me screenshots, by one thing I will tell you a lot of this. I was sending where did they eat down your voice note to eat down video? Any person or talo, you know what talo. And the most important thing is we must train our children, our people, our history. That's what we are concerned. You can't force history on other people. People should learn to find that their own history themselves. Like I am as a Benin. If as a Benin man, a Yoruba man cannot tell me my history, I should not also expect me to teach Yoruba man his own history. Do you understand? If you cannot bend me to learn your rubbish, I don't also expect you for me to also bend you, because mine is also rubbish to you. So we go there and learn. That is why Monoba in his coronation speaks. Say we cannot force our history on those outside our boundaries. Our history is meant to be us, and those who are curious to listen to both sides, those who are not neither Yoruba or Benin, cannot listen to both sides and choose to believe whatever they want to believe. And if they believe their own story, fine. If they believe our own, fine. Does that change the fact that according to our history, does that change our history? According to our history, Obas of Benin are direct descendants of Ogisho Ohuede. In one of my class, I titled it, go and look for it, Ohuede Dynasty. There is an Ogisho called Ogisho Ohuede. The Obas of Benin are direct descendants of it, and I gave facts beyond. You know, I've done so many videos that if you start listening to my video, you might not even finish it in 6 months. And by the end of the 6 months, if you listen carefully and able to piece the gaps together, you'll be well grounded. So, nothing spoil. Oni is the greatest king. Only their greatest king, or Digwe, Guarimao, but Obarima Yodoya Digwe, so which we know. I really get to so. You say I'm in a good mood. If I'm in a bad mood, it cannot degbe no degbe. It meno ezoduwa. Understand? I went to family meeting on where. I have family members in social media. That's why I hardly have family members on social media. Most of my family members are send me likes. I'm mobile blocking here. Why? Because I talogbe. I don't like. I don't. You understand? I send a video. I give me tamale rovie obaseki rovie onona. I mean one rovie rovie nigi and all of that. You know, I'm a tama wherever. Okay, I do but me gele rovie. Boy, I'm a tama we that. I'm moving again. Only rovie. I'm moving again. Is that not one? What are they crying? Me, I don't cry. You understand? So it was a family meeting at Tico. The truth is that the question that I want to not tell you that no one with that. What is my offense? That's the first question. You know, yeah. Offense me who way. It may do go more. I be. When me walk where what's my offense now? Look, this temata I do because I want no temata. I boy up more way. Understand? Even my eldest brother na honor to confirm me. I have a time I was seeing so no 20 or you do no 20 play the video man. You play my no tana oh you know abi mata na mata no exactly. So emata ni de tu wa gbe mewa o wa gbe mewa emata aya bodo emata ni me is a tight why do feel weary. So there's no going back. The kingdom was built on the basis of truth. And the basis of the truth is what is going to guide me. So nothing they have not tried. A black, they say a black many yemen threatening or temen or John. What is not my offense? Medri warrior men wasa be oto here, a be to na to down on why is one. No kid do a kyoto on him fake land or back. These are the things you people are supposed to be bringing to me. My misdeed. My misdeed. You people are not saying this, but you people are saying that I should not be talking about. Why should not I talk about them? Are we not all beings? Should everybody not keep quiet? The question I usually ask that, okay, agmoyaga na agunu, agmoyama na gwa we no ria do. Ahagi dole. Agmoyaga idunu ina. Who do you not expect to freeze bini? Aron pa, aron eva, aron ha. All dole we. So, boy, I'm in a tebonia. So, boy, when I reduce you, I reduce you. The worst they can do, they will send the man back to White House. Wherever I send them, I go there with my full chest. I say, my now usually are threatening. So, why am I saying all this? We die there. The only way you can accuse me is in a way me or back. Not me telling you truth. Let me tell you truth. So we are not politicians. I think that was on your email. What they told my mom was that a family of you will carry. Money or is or money and that's what they say. Very good. Now, ye, oh, you go my heel. When I but my dream my mouth there and I or ya told away on Huawei. Our hands are clean. That's I ain't here doing. I ain't here doing. You understand? I ain't here doing. My father was never found wanting before he died. Neither my mother. That's what you call noble family. If you don't know what nobility is, noble family. Families whose records are clean. That's my family. You understand? So, you see the trivial issues that our people get engaged in. You understand? But these people that are saying this, but can they, I walk on the street of Benin every day. Can they come to me face by face and tell me, because I stand for the truth. I mentioned one name the other day, Jefferson Wogan. He saw me and he was jittery. This is a big man who they all respect, but he was jittery. He was trying to, he came to meet, where I sat down, I told her, I didn't go and meet him. He came to meet me. He's a 33 years old boy, then one political level. How do I man? Well, he was trying to explain, there was another person I don't want to mention, he was trying to explain that he is not an enemy to the power, and blah, 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 but I always want to paint it, blah, 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 blah. I didn't reply him. Or you tell me, okay, you know how. Or you ban the person of Totaiwa, and a screenshot. A screenshot. If not turn and a screenshot, you know how this is what he wrote. We see how the screenshot he did. Just like tomorrow, if he's trying to say that it's not holy, the screen what he wrote, he deleted it in less than 1 minute, not knowing that someone has already screenshotted it. That if the Oba Bini is not careful, he will get the Akure treatment. You know, at that time, Deji of Akure was suspended. That's what he wrote. That he will get Deji of Akure treatment. And that's the same person. Even I Don Pedro, why very no there. I am a severe bill. I tell it, tala. Here to me, I do have here. A voice note in order, but that's 6 minutes voice note. My way is all the way sharing. But when they not talk, we not reply them. Or do I can't be? But meanwhile, we will do our own, we not look for trouble. But now they will come look for our trouble. We can't give them woto. We can't give them woto. There is nothing you will tell me in this world. No, be. As far it is not against my principle. My principles are truth, integrity, honesty. And contentment. That is what my father taught me. It's okay. Contentment. If you they guy me I'm beautiful. And that is why I'm able. The last live video I did, don't forget, I said if anybody since 2016 honor me will die politician in a boy politician area, he give boys who honor the 100 naira men. It's almost 2 weeks now that if they are able to prove evidence, say since 2016, I didn't say since 2015, since 2016, because the moment Omo was coronated, I gave my life to the services of the Benin Kingdom. That's where my love for Benin Kingdom started. That's where my advocacy for Benin Kingdom started, 2016. From around September. You feel me? From that September, they said they not allow the politician. You know, I know 2 weeks of barani, but they'll be coming out to be talking rubbish. Why even no give integrity se wagbon? Man apa me bari boss do now. You understand? So, that is an example that I have lived. And for some that are coming, why do I do these things? So that I'll be able to look at the face of my children when they grow up and tell them that I live a life of truth. I live a life of honesty. I live a life of integrity. I live a life of contentment. And people who want to choose my path will have reason to choose my path. Why do you think people do good? People do good so that other people can emulate. A society where a lot of people are not bad. When you do good, it is for people to emulate you. Like I have said, I have nothing against anybody. I don't get involved in their politics. I don't. Whether APC, PDP, and I further not told my mom that if you look at all my videos of the criticism of Obaseki, I have never criticized him whether he has performed well or not. You know, I've been saying this. I don't know whether they are too daft or dumb or okay. I don't know whether they don't used to understand English. But money, you don't used to understand English. I don't know whether they don't used to understand English. When I said that, I have whether I winner or man winner only my comment. I have never criticized him whether he's performing or he's not performing. My only reservation and criticism of him is that he should allow the traditional institution that God gave to us be. That's my only talk. So if by today Godwin has not on my way we know that God on my can as a matter of fact, any governor that comes, as far as palace just they do their own, palace or they do their own, you know what you're consigning that person. One time now when I'm look boy I de takoma ebo be takoma na ya load na ma amaka o sa ni go re sa pe me I de takoma ya load na mama. So you understand, so nobody can bring me down. So what you do, so like I was saying, kudos to their Easy, Omori, and every other. I see you guys, Otevege, Kakudu, Izomo. You guys are doing an incredible job. I appreciate you people. Keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning. Keep defending Benin Kingdom. Keep defending it. And don't listen to side talks. And whatever that would take your peace, block it. I've told you. You people should stop commenting, sharing, giving relevance to this big money my way. Like people, like Mohammed people. Don't give credence to them. Whatever they will say, let them say Unuyano. It doesn't change anything. Yeah, right. Tala to the area do digwe. They go back. How do I dig? Because they say because of secret day when I know we fit talk, we not gonna be like say, you understand? I want talk one. Yeah, small trouble beyond the hungry me. Small trouble. When again if mana go edia, again if mana go edia, oba ro ota ma no view who ni boom. But the social media me ata ifa o me no view who ni boom. Ifa ta na era go egwan ona vie uno se view at the same time. Oh in do me wa be go a. E ba ra yen ho be gi mo ko wa. Ona be e mata no ona be. View ebun. So that dog panakba ene nothing spoil. Oh na wa ya na wa ya akun Ona wa ya akun Kaza boy hagi bola dia social media ya ifa all of you ifa ni atogi It's your water, man. No meet up to expectation. It was water, man. Me they don't come provoke me. Oh. Come on, yeah. Me don't come provoke me. Asa kanya hi. I wanna get wow. Asa kado I wanna get wow. We wanna oba. So if I say make I dey turn or something, you know, because we are close, we know things, but because we not gonna be like say adwayo yane, ugbeso emana pity you understand? Otherwise, some of these things is not a video more turn any other no level. Shoe get size. So I don't. So you people should relax. Obi, you know, we back there, iyeke gui. Do him, Obi, you know, we back there gui. We gallant. So if they disturb us, block them. That's my message to you people. Block them. Don't comment, don't share, don't like. Not even put red head. Even red head now would they give them money. Here you go. Comment when you already invite them. So what busy be 2-3 months. They'll calm down. We know how it works. When you give a relevance, when you give an attention to something, it becomes relevant. Don't give attention to them. Let them be saying all the things. Be promoting your history and culture. Understand? Be promoting your history and culture. You understand? So, so all the Godun, even in the wire, you understand? So a whole lot of things are happening. There's a lot of reformation going on. Like I've always believed. Benin Kingdom has had several attacks, several conspiracies, all through its formation. When you have gone deep into Benin archives, into Benin history, you see that there's never any Oba that had any peaceful reign. There must be one tribulation or the other. But at the end of the day, they all surmounted it. These are the tests that Ogidiga must face. These are the tests that Ogidiga must face to really meet up with the name. To really meet up with the name. To really meet up with the name and the expectation of its name. These are the tests that Ogidiga must face. And it will surmount. We are here to support our father to surmount. I may not use so normal at all. The more conspiracy, the more history. 150 years ago from now, some of us would have written. These are giving us good books. These are giving us time to write books. In the year 2024 AD, there was a violence. And these were the heroes of the land. When I talk when I say I can name quite a lot. Also Pahara, Nugbagwe. When I tell Nekirigidi, Nugbelaka. When I got doing a year, I have Nekirigidi, Belaka. You understand? A Nekiridi Nugbelaka told about Zola that as you dare your own lane, that your palace, no your day so. You your hold there tact. You your hold there. You your hold there. You your hold there tact. This my palace of Belaka. Me hold here tact. You understand? As they shout your name about talk by Odo. They just they shout my own for this side. Me and you not get quarrel. You understand? Me and you not get quarrel. You your day your lane. Make me day my lane. You understand? Area me, you understand? Oboke do wani. Egban ori would the same thing. Ori ya lopia. Ori yen. Owo ogege. O ya awa bawa. Vedo. That is the shock. The fear of Agbadarin. Owe Ozolwa or Moha. These were people who came face. These were Benin people. These were Benin people who came face to face and looked at the high boss of the Obas of Benin and told them these were fearsome Obas of Benin. Fearsome. Face of the Oba of Benin said, "Now so it be. You day on my day my own." I don't know, and it has constantly been repeating itself. So I don't, we shouldn't be very emotional about these things. How do you not describe the portfolio of an Oba if it doesn't have all of these tribulations and travails? He would just be an ordinary Oba. That in the reign of Obaewa, it was very peaceful and calm. Peaceful and calm! There were Obas who were peaceful and calm, and we don't talk about them that much. The Obas that you and I talk about, they had issues. It is the issues that made them great. The more issues, the more they surmount, the more they became great. So, calm down. Calm down. You people don't be agitated. When I'm young boy, you understand? You know, I tell people, for the fact that its tenure will expire by November, but that does not mean that there are not going to be other tribulations. I know it like they thought everywhere the same, because if they have not sat down under the executive chair, we are all in the Bowen it intoxicates them. So we'll brace up. We'll brace up. So after after the night, after the nightfall, after the night comes the day, comes the light. After the dark, dark, after the dark, comes the light, comes the sunlight. So you people should understand that whatever that is happening beneath today has happened. Akaya Zirene has happened long time ago before. It might not be in the form of this, but it was similar. It was similar. And great things don't come. See, for there to be peace, you never hear that parable, Amadin. For there to be peace, there have to be war. After the great war comes a great peace. But we want peace. But there has to be some certain wars that we must fight and win. When we win that war, Nihahiri after. You understand? He had to calm down. Only the time of peace, but there was time of war. You understand? A war not just 15, 20 years. After this war, there will also be peace for some time. After some time, a war is not something we can run from. It has always been part and parcel of the history of the world. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly. There comes this. Exactly. I believe for you, man. So, I know. Yako bokugbe na ya dole doyi. It is imperative as a people. I know I'm supposed to shine more light on Benin Investors Conference that I talked about. All machineries are ongoing. We're almost done with the registrations. We have to have a forum where we can think as a people, where we can rub off our minds and ideas, where we can think and come up with plans that will eventually shine us to greatness. At the end of this, I tell our people, they are not permanent friends and permanent enemies. I can't be because some persons are in support of the other people that they not become my enemies. In short, I know some people that I just tell them that I'll work bano by and gile awen agile be gbanon only mami we na fun ya, you know, only mami we na fun ya fo a iwe do agbon ya hin no zo ave na obi ave nwa wa ko e you understand me ne enwa egbera ge no e do na we maya me balovie you weather bokpa agbon. You understand? We cannot all think the same. You understand? A boy, a say, is the one that is thinking like this. He might not even be thinking reverse. I pray that we don't think reverse. You understand? So on the BIS we can chat me up privately so that we can talk. We are hitting the ground running very soon, and we are going definitely. I mean, Mario boy, you know, my bar. So the next program we're also going to speak on the BIC very. But what I wanted to tell you people is that it is very important and imperative that we must understand that in spite of all these fights, we must now understand that unity, it's one thing that can make all of us great again. It doesn't matter how divided that we are now, but we must find a common ground to be united for the purpose of the greatness of our land. The last program I featured on Olakoko's program, I told them categorically, even before I started to address the issues on ground, one of the foremost issues that I talked about was that, you see, even some of these APC people that are coming to shout about Tokbe, he may suspect Aya. To God who made me, he may suspect Aya. Anybody who was not fighting for Benin Kingdom 6 months or a year ago, that is not fighting for Benin Kingdom now because of the election of September 25th, is as worse as Abemane PDP. Abu Wamaye. The only difference is that the ones in PDP are currently benefiting. And a rapist benefit. And a rapist when you switch a place. Bambana, if you switch their places, and having a rapist now, total Bambana. This ain't Benin people who want many. The word what artifact and all that. The way that they support their principal when they give them money. We have to recalibrate our minds. There's something that is faulty about us. Not all of us. About some of us that must be recalibrated. You understand? the only person I can trust on this whole fight, I usually tell people, is myself. Why trust it be man? You understand? That I can never sell the kingdom out. Other politicians, believe them at your own peril. Oh God. I'm not saying you people should do photo. You understand? A Monday me are voting now. Not because he like a man like a. You understand? But the reason the man like Omoropa, I'm not a politician. But everybody knows the reason. And I don't hide my reasons. I'm too big to not want to hide my reason. You understand? You understand? So I'm too big to hide my reason. I have nothing against. I will say it for them to hear once. I have nothing against Ashwin Wodalo. I'm saying it again. Because I don't want to know what I mean. I actually want to do. But for the fact, understand, that only or projected umbano when nivi butie umbano ha umbano odi edote ikwe awawa. So let them continue. Let anybody who wants to do whatever they want to do. I do not own. When you are supporting, what a Benin man should represent is this. That is where I fought a lot of our people. We are not saying you shouldn't fight for your party, but that throne must come above everything. That throne must come above everything. You must be able to look at the face of your principal and say eyeball to the eyeball that this thing that you are doing is wrong. As a Benin man, I therefore present my resignation letter on the grounds that this is what you have done against this ancient throne. That makes you a Benin man. How many Benin person in PDP did you see did it? Even Esoni Lead APC recently. PDP, did you see them talk? Did you see them do anything? So that's why when I tell you people will not understand. A Benin man supposed to have Oviedo no anyway has supposed to have been resigning. Izodowa would have resigned. Like I said, it's only myself that I trust. I don't trust any other person. You understand? It's not concern us. Here politics is interest, Abi. I vote in all my way. You understand? So nobody no one more. You understand? And doesn't matter now. Can say about talk about a few days after the pursuit for PDP. Then you not tell me Zoduwa that I would take people like Adaze Mata that was insulting all of us. I will not take people like Adaze Mata serious. You understand? PDP not do the position. Well, I mean Babana it too don't change again. This is unbeneath of us. That's what I'm trying to tell them. It is the only Benin man that I will respect now as a politician is someone who is still within PDP and look face to face in the face of their principal that for the fact that you are contesting, for the fact that you have done this to the palace, I hereby resign. I will respect that Benin man forever. So, for the fact that I've not seen any Benin man do that, I don't have respect for any of them. Either PDP or APC or Bayan. All. Kare Nidwazibu recently. Me as it Dr. Washington Osifo. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to mention it. I don't have respect for any of them. Mbano. Because any area PDP babana, one. So, but we are not playing politics with anything. We have been speaking for years. We will speak now. We will speak forever. So I just want, why I'm saying this, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I just want you to know that this is the current state of our people's minds. A lot of our people's mind. You understand? This is the current state of our people's mind. That they can only criticize if they are no longer within the cycle of power. Are you a truthful man? How can you not? If you are no longer eating, then you are not criticizing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not the love you have. There are a lot of people who are benefiting from the palace now. The moment, I think that employed by Dennis Abi, who was benefiting. I have a lot of his. Messages on my WhatsApp where he was lambasting or criticizing Obaseki's government. But I'll be foolish to not go and be sharing these things in public. But he was in the palace. He hated Obaseki because he was benefiting from the palace. But the moment of this switch in Obaseki's camp in Anya, in short, we are making you are overstressing this matter now. The United means so do why we respect that man. Loyalty matters. Exactly. Mention she for Saroeda. I didn't want to mention his name. But someone has mentioned someone mentioned you. You understand? Because every sort of warrior there, you understand? Still frolicking with the government. And then he will not be the first person to not be insulting the governor. Then you will not tell me that I will take him serious. Because when you were with him, that is how to know loyalty. When you were with him and he's doing something bad, is it not then best then for you to tell him that, bros, this thing or this thing when they do so is not good. Not talk like Saki, well, not the way he's a very bad man. He's the one who will not take it serious. You understand? So like I said, that's how I perceive all of them. I'm sorry. If anybody likes, doesn't like, now my matter night is sweet. Boy, I have a shoe, very soon. But the point is that no one has a moral right. No politician has any moral right to criticize anybody, any other part of opposition for not supporting. Why then they didn't do it? There's only one man, West Idahosa. He was the only man of all politicians in the entire Edo state that did a video to criticize. The state government as a politician. Osayoba was, yes, I have a right to my opinion. If you understand who I am, I do not force my opinion on people. I say that's what I just think. You cannot be in a power and you are not criticizing the power only for you to have left to the opposition and now you are not criticizing that power. Then you are not shouting about talk way. And you don't know go error. Then you not say that you are doing it for the sake of the love of the kingdom. No, you are not. You are doing it for the sake of your selfish interest. If you are doing it for the law, because by the laws of the land, our loyalty should be unalloyed, irrespective of where you find yourself. Next live video, I'm going to give you the life and times of Senator Dalton Asemota, the first Benin senator. Ha! Ha! We had great men, they're not very God. A lot of people are not aware of the first Benin senator, Senator Doubting Asemota. You can't be a graveyard or wherever there. I was like, this is this great man. One million senators doubting Asemota, this great man. He chose the creation of Midwest over his own political party. Why? He said, if the interest of the Oba of Benin is for the creation of Midwest as a Benin man, that is my place of interest, not to my political party. That is Senator Doubting Asemota. Ha! Great. No, sir. I get inspired by these people. When I say these modern Benin politicians, I don't take any of them serious. All we are doing that chose the creation of Midwest. Oh, I not created Midwest. Our guy, yeah, 500,000 Yahoo politician, if you're double. May I buy your day, you know. The Benin should not have. It's reality, I'm telling you. I try to. Why I'm saying this, whether anybody believes me or not, we have become a people, not all of us. I know quite good Benin people, but majority have become a people that will prefer their pockets over their heritage. And they don't even know. Exactly, that's what I just said. West Idausa. He was the only one that spoke. Show me any video a year or 2 years ago that any politician, Obaseki took Oba to court. Show me one politician a year or 2 years ago. PDP support a guy. I cannot support him. We are parallel lines, Abi. We are parallel lines. We can never meet at no point. Yeah, quick by your governor me anywhere. And our day we can never meet. We are parallel lines. But I'm just telling you the reality that it's our mentality. We have to have a revamping of our mentality. Our mentality has changed from the way it used to be. In the old, we had more patriotic-minded Benin people than what we now have. We now have egocentric-minded Benin people. That's what I meant. You understand? Before I talked about Omo Saige the other time, a lot of Benins were not aware of the good deeds that great Iyase did for us. Now, in the next class, God helping me, I'm going to also talk about Senator Doubting Asemota. Why do you think I'm talking about these people? So that we can actually know what patriotism is. Because it seems like some of us really do not know. Because when you're doing history, when you start telling the Benin people, who are your heroes? But there were Benin people in 20th century that fought for this land. 20th century. How many people is aware of Senator Doubting Asemota? It's just because some of us are privy to some books. Now, coming back to Professor Uyilawan Swanlele, the book is currently on sales, so please place your order. It's quite expensive, but according to what a part told me, said after the 1,000 copies, and because it's hardbacks are quite expensive. I think about €57, I believe 57 pounds for the hardback. But after the hardback, they said the publishing firm Lexington said after 1,000. Which of the history no side Dokbolo which of the history that you are talking about I was not sure. Which one of them, so that I can reply you. Is it the one of doubting and Semota? If it's the one of doubting and Semota, a lot of people are still alive when doubting was alive. So which of them of the history are you talking about? Now, I think it's about 57 pounds. So that 57 pounds is for the hardback, but the Lexington, the publishing firm, said Obaseki supported. There are many people like us now. So I really my it if you do me do gui. You understand? So have a settle. So 57 pounds for the hardback. The Lexington firm said after 1,000 copies, then the softback will come out. The softback, a part said he doesn't think that the softback will be more than 25 pounds. It's quite very cheap. But it's just that I cannot wait for softback. As no, not Amazon. I think it's on Lexington. I will send the link. So it talks about the Benin people in current Yoruba land. Oh, now that they call bebe. A lot they will cry. Bebe with fact and evidence, not be cock and bull, not be trial history. Facts and evidence, because it took him almost 6 years. Or whenever he returned from Canada, or it would be 1 or 2 months, he was always traveling. At one point in time, he wanted me to follow him, but I also traveled. Then GBD had a function in Port Harcourt. I couldn't follow a part because I wanted to, because he was always attending the coronations of some of the Ojonwe. In Akure, you still have Ogwedion. There are so many Ogwedion, and the heads of those Ogwedion are called Ojonwe. And those Ojonwe has now been instituted as a cabinet members of, they are recognized as traditional rulers and cabinet members of Ondo State Traditional Council that is headed by Deji of Akure. So you are going to see a whole lot of things on that book. No capping. And he has everybody no caps, no capping. So that's going to be one. Then Epa is currently working on another book. He told me he will soon be back from Canada. When he told me, Professor Nevadowski, for some of you who have read book, go and look at the parts where Professor Nevadowski contributed. It's a Russian professor, either a Russian or a Serbian. He was a member of Institute for Benin Studies. He married a Benin woman. He was a lecturer of Benin history at University of Benin for a long time. He happens to have worked very well with our professor, Professor Ilawa Swanele. And he has contributed immensely to the Benin historical works. Now, before he died, he wrote an extensive work covering the Benins and Igala, the first-class information of Benin's and Igala relationship, and some other Benin Yoruba. He was on his sick bed, but he has completed that manuscript. He forwarded that book to Epa. He forwarded the manuscript to Epa, Professor Oyulawa Onswanlele. And as I speak to you now, Professor Oyulawa Onswanlele, before he died, shortly after he sent the book to him, the man died. Professor Navadowski died. He's a contributing author to the Benin Red Book. So Professor Oyulawa has now fully edited the book. And I promised him that I will sponsor the publishing of that book. That's what I told Epa. So Epa now said that when he comes, we are going to meet, because I'm going to sponsor the publishing to produce that book in memory of Professor Nevadowski. He did everything. So that book, we are expecting it. Epa now will start the production almost immediately. Software if 5 million or 10 million why we push it, I produce a bit. You understand? Then I publish a bit. Then I have 300, 400 copies for free. I don't mind. So that Naga will just share them for free for people. That will be my own gain. I have a free copy cement, and the park can take in charge of the sales and all of that. I'm not anything that has to do with Benin. I'm not interested in using it to make 100 naira. Even in Nick, I'll give anything. So that's one. Now, there's another book that is expected to come out by January next year. That book was also Professor Ilawa's wife, father, was an Edo linguist, Edo language linguist. He had a PhD in Edo language linguist. I've forgotten a pa's name. A pa is also late. I think he died January this year or so, the way Pa told me that his father-in-law had completed a comprehensive Edo English dictionary, more comprehensive than Messian. Messian was a German, the one and the only. And Agarisiu, that one wasn't comprehensive, just copied what Messian did. The only Benin dictionary was done by a German, Messian, in the 20s, in the 1920s. I think was it 1920 or 1921? Almost the same year that my late mentor, Dr. Aishen Ragosa, died. So, but the Messian dictionary is less than 7,000 words. But this one is over 25,000. It should be more like an encyclopedia of an Edo language translated English Edo language dictionary. Completed before the man died. So they are starting the publishing very soon, but the book will be officially launched by the power of God and our ancestors January next year. That's what is making me happy. Because while the rest are talking, other tribes are talking and making mad, Benin's are producing scholarly materials every year, year in, year out. So we are expecting 3 scholarly materials. One is out now. The second one, written by Professor Nevadowski, completed. It's just waiting for publishing. Then another one is also completed, the Benin, the Edo English Dictionary, more like encyclopedia, very big. You understand? So we have good things are coming. You understand? These are the only things that interest me. Now encyclopedia, the way part time is say very big. So it's completed. So these are the things that I'm happy to hear. You understand? I'm happy to hear. You understand? Oh no, principal one or else at the Bavin. Oh no, suppose you fund. Normal kind artifact no you fund. Benina or to suppose not kind do. You're supposed to even be looking for Benin history books to invest government money. I mean money. That there are so many historians, but they don't have sponsors. There are so many books awaiting sponsors, but they don't have. At least if they have a tangible sponsors, a governmental sponsor, this book will now become subsidized. But I mean, a normal kind. You understand? Over 25,000 words. It's a big encyclopedia. So, when a part told me the last time I spoke a few days ago, I was very excited. Now you are the consider man. Now waiting me to start now. Or by Stool. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. People should pick interest. People should pick interest in all of this, and we can get very, very excited about it. So I'm sure by the power of God and our ancestors, everything is all going to be fine. Benin, we're investing so much in scholarly materials. Is really, really nice. We need to start getting people picking interest in archaeology. I think that's one part we are really missing. We should start encouraging our brothers, our sisters to pick courses in archaeology, because we have so much archaeological excavation that is needed to be carried out on different parts of Benin soil. There lies the history of this land. So we need to have a lot of Benin people picking interest in archaeology, the science beneath the earth. There's so many secrets and mysteries that lies underneath the Benin red soil. You understand? That we must unravel, that we must unveil. Allow. So there's still time. So there's so many things to pick interest in. And when we now have places like, that's why BIC is very important. When we start having Benin Investors Conference, Benin Trust Fund, we will now have a common pulse for every Benin. So we will now have available money to educate our people on archaeology, so that we can do a lot of archaeological excavations funded by us as a people, as a kingdom. So we'll be unveiling our history by our own selves, not relying on Europeans to tell us our history. So there are so many plans. So at this very junction, I want to thank all of you. For those who believe in the path of truth, I thank you. For those who do not believe in the path of truth, I do not thank you, but I'm not angry with you either. Ahoga sege oven, ora gwalidagbo, edieduta. So ora sege oven ra gwalidagbo. So I agree, I feel ba or tiangbon yahin. So una be tebo me, ona da me be chenwe wiregbe. Oni mami ilu di chenwe wiregbe o ya agwa lo na ya gbo yin amwa. Oni gi mawo. So tiangbon yahin. So continue to encourage ourselves. So I thank all of you. Frankly speaking, I have no beef. No matter what my Edo brother will do to me, I will just come and clarify. But we may do ladian, do toge, moteme boto. I sworn never to do that. Even elites, namese. Irwawe live video ne. So if go down na me ide. Understand? It can allow me ide. Why we hustle all the mami there? No waro we agmoya no you are do run there ide. So enwa alo pa agwa le ide. Only mami wado ro we agmoya wa for we do. Osege egimi. He cannot reign forever. He cannot bully everybody forever. The time comes, Izoduwa will no longer, Izoduwa will not be regarded as an OG. You understand? I'm almost an OG. I will not take back seats for the new ones to take front seats. My job now is just to guide them. But I cannot continue to reign forever. Me, Zoduwa, knows that nobody reigns forever. You understand? So, but he thinks he can reign forever. If I wala ye, you understand? Egedenia, I give me oya, I me one ya zeyo. So, if you know that, if you understand that, according to what the Oba of Benin said, power is transient. Every man must always know that. Power is transient. No one reigns forever. If you know that, there was a guy that I blocked. I can't remember his name. He told me that you think you are the most popular Benin person, and one day you are going to fall. My reply was that I'm not going to fall. I'm just going to take the backstage when I realize that my time is up. But I'll continue to be a mentor to raise other young ones. Because last, me go see open history school. Or by private, or by history institute. Now I might be do history. Last, where me will see be lecturer there. If you employ that lecturers, again we go ne money don't day, money not be issue again. Me if you go the work is sticky, me it don't want him man never again. Him with Jehovah Witness bagging with some good historical books. Me are the class. You understand? That is how I see myself 30 years from now. You are the class. Good day, students. Today's topic is Ikaladera. So that is where we want to end. So that if we can be able to change the next generation and teach them their history. Yeah, Bible there. Yeah, Bible there. You teach them the history. Yeah, Bible there. You now have a generation that is equipped with the knowledge of knowing who the ancestors were, and it inspires. Why you think I cannot really do anything? Why I believe in Hamebafi Beleku? Because I draw inspiration from our ancestors. I knew who they were, how honest they were, how truthful they were. Their integrity was top notch. Again, in Nigeria, agwale omano me ba temata women. Edoma na do agwale oma no temata, because that's how we were known for. People who stand by the truth. Ebo emi bungbe ni area wa bedo. Aike do mi no temata. Owa do alogo. It's not supposed to be so. Again, de agwale man ekinana temata adiedo. So, emi di ni bungwane. So we must reintegrate that back into our society. That a man who is truthful, who is honest, should have a special place more than a man who is wealthy. We have substituted nobility for money. Otegbo, ana worship Iwo, Edo, Emata, I worship. Otegbo, ana worship Iwo, Otedo. That is why you still see a fragment of it. You still see a fragment of it, no matter how rich you are, Otedo. Ume ba James or Twen Odion Begbe Edwekwe. So what does that tell you? It tells you of the society that elevated age, wisdom, truth over money. Ohun wo gi face e wagbon na otwen no or this area ya we na area ya we men we atawa we fe o tag bona worship people o tedo. So these are the things that we must reawaken. Na go ba dole doyi. Ezodo agminai, that's all. That is my fork. That is my only nedwama nuselurama. Ezodo agminai, finish. Wayawese. So we'll speak soon, and by God's grace, no sai ma bone me ya ikore ni ma echon sanu dazire teni kao. So waya we say o obedo ya ga talk by you. So I'll see you guys most likely next week Sunday. Waya we say.